Well, it's been a while since I did one of these, on my channel at least. I mean, it's been a while since I did it behind the screen on the Honest Paths channel as well, but it started on this Twitch channel. But I guess welcome to the behind the screen. It's just a tabletop content creation stream. I'm happy to do all kinds of thing. Answer any questions you have. A couple of admin notes since... No, Byron, thank you for being here. I'm about to work on your character's stuff, actually. So if you want to avoid... I trust you not to metagame, but I'm equally happy if you want to duck out. Actually, you know what? No. You can stay. I'll do a different character. It's fine. I need to do like 3 characters today anyway. So that's all the information you've seen before. And I'll do nothing new. Where does my other notes go? Where was my other notes go? What the heck? How do words work, chat? Right, this is the executive. Delete all of this stuff. Well, I'm thinking about it, and then I'll continue with what I was talking about. Please delete. Thank you. Right, there we go. No worries, Byron. No worries. Right, we're all good. I didn't really have a plan for today. Simply put, right, the admin stuff. Yes. Since I last did this show, I have a Ko-Fi now instead of a Patreon campaign. The link is at the bottom of the UI, actually, overlay. Ko-Fi.com/ComradeBubbles. Exclamation links is the command because it includes my Discord and my YouTube and my merch store. Everyone should be able to use it. If not, I need to fix it. That's why it's in the title. And my idea for the Ko-Fi, as with the Patreon, I will use it to fund a campaign setting compatible with 5e. But I'm cutting back on the pressure I put on myself by committing to less with it. So guaranteed once a month you'll still get something, a section of the campaign setting. This month's is a list of something like 12, I want to say 12 feats compatible with 5e. I'm not writing for one D&D compatible material because that's in flux still. We don't know what that's going to look like by the time it launches in 2024, so I'm still writing 5e stuff. And then, so that fortunately only takes like 1 or 2 Mondays a month to actually write and proof and do layout stuff for. So the other time in the month is being used on other projects, and if it's a 5e project, it'll go up on my Ko-Fi store, and Ko-Fi supporters will get it for free. Well, Ko-Fi £5 up supporters will get it for free. I have 2 tiers. I have the £1 you just want to support me tier, and the £5 you want stuff tier. I believe both have the have a Discord role on my Discord server with an exclusive channel where we just chat campaign setting stuff or anything else. And I will periodically, I work on non-D&D material that can't necessarily be sold on my itch store or my Ko-Fi store or my drive-thru store. So when it's DM's Guild material or when it's like Storypath Nexus material, I'm going to be providing a discount code for Ko-Fi supporters via supporter-only posts. I'm thinking 20% for £5 tier supporters. I might do a 10% for £1 tier supporters. I haven't really decided yet. I don't have to make that decision because I don't have any right now. And if I don't have to make a decision, I'm not going to. But that's the kind of the plan for the Ko-Fi. Obviously, just to support myself and the show and the channel. If you don't want to support me on Twitch, which is totally fine. But what is the purpose of today? Well, today is obviously just get back in the groove of doing behind the screen. I'm not doing it weekly. My plan, theoretically at least, is to, once I've got the writing commitment for the month done, then I will stream then I will do behind the screen streams for other stuff, because that way you haven't seen the material, so there's still a reason to support me, to pay for the material and get it. And also it gives me chance to be like, hey, this is how you do world building through lore and hinting at the wider elements of the world, which hopefully is useful, and also gives me a chance to talk about adventure hooks and things you can do with that. That's not what this is. All of that said, that is absolutely not what this is. There's a ttrpg called Locus. It's a horror game. It's a game of personal horror. And you play as normal, everyday folk in a place that's gone bad. And you have personalized monsters for your characters, and everything starts out well and gets worse, as is the want for horror games. But the core rulebook is $32 on itch, and oh no, that's the window I'm looking for. There's currently a Halloween bundle runs for the entirety of the month, where you can buy the core rulebook and other through other PDFs for $40. It's a really good deal. The rules are pretty fun. They're very simple, and it's a great game. But as part of this, also, Locus Jam is happening on itch, which is just a month. It started in August. I didn't find out about it until last week. But it basically just write Locus one-shots, and Cobblepath will promote them, which seems like a sweet deal to me. So that's what we're doing. Byron Mask in chat has a show called Tabletop Surgery on their Twitch channel. It's a great show. Check it out if you can. But as part of that, Locus is being featured, and I wrote an adventure for it, and I decided to submit the adventure for the Locus Jam. But as part of that, my original plan was with 3 NPCs to just use pre-generated monsters from one of the pre-written adventures that are included. I believe Sticks and Stones is included in that bundle that I just shared the link for. It is. Which is all well and good. And then I was like, after the one shot, I'll tidy it up. I'll make, bespoke monsters. It'll be fine. Then I found out about Locus Jam, and I was like, okay, so the deadline is a week today, being the 21st. The deadline is Halloween, and I can't just pass someone else's work off as my own. So I need, unique monsters for the 3 NPCs. But then I got to thinking, why only write 3 basic NPCs with monsters for them to deal with, when I could write full characters and have hey, here are 6 or 7 pre-written characters that work as PCs or NPCs. Because I hate myself, and I like just adding to my workload when I'm under a deadline as it is. So basically, that's what's happening right now. This one at the top is going to be used as a PC for someone in chat, so I'm going to abandon working on that. So we're going to go on to the executive characters in Locus. Obviously, pre-gens, you can call them whatever you want. I'm just following the convention found in the official pre-written material, where you just give them like a title, and it's gender neutral, and you can name them whatever you want, but the title kind of sums up who they are and their job or something about them. So we have an executive. I suppose some important context: business conventioner to hotel. The foils that I'll be turning into proper characters. So, the executive, the barkeep, and the manager. There is also I guess I call it bar manager maybe to distinguish it from one of the PCs who is going to be bar staff. But there we go. So obviously, when it comes to writing pre-written adventures, a lot of the time you have your own ideas about how things should be laid out, about how things should be worded, how things should look, what information makes it into the book, what information doesn't make it into the book. But a lot of the time, my advice when writing any kind of material like this is simply, obviously make it your own, but mimic the official style where possible. So, for example, it also just helped to get rid of the example. It also just helps with organization purposes. I'm not a terribly organized writer. I don't typically set out with a plan. I write organically. I'll start where I feel like starting, and I'll take it from there, and we'll see where it goes, and then I can move things around as needed. So, for example, I wrote the adventure first, and then was like, hey, these are the NPCs I need, rather than being, I need some NPCs, let's write those, and then let's write the adventure around that. That's not how I do it. Apologies to some people who prefer to do NPCs first. I very much fill in the gaps as I go. But obviously that's a bit disorganized. So when it comes to organizational help, especially to make it kind of feel like it could be an official, this is not an official product, but to make it feel like it could be, just if you have access to materials written by the developers, by the writers, why not? Why not look at them? So, for example, in Sticks and Stones, which is one of the pre-written adventures, the pre-generated characters include a kind of a brief overview of them, their goals, which also helps with portraying NPCs. It helps to know what an NPC is after in a given situation. Their attributes. Locus characters start off with 2 skills, so those skills. Their haunt, which we'll get onto. Their virtue, again, we'll get onto that. And then items. Locus characters start off with items as well. So I'm going to hydrate. And we're going to get started. So the executive. So the inciting incident of this adventure could be sparked by the negotiator, this character, or the executive, depending on which one is being used as a player character. If both are used as a player character, you'll have to either add an additional character in, or change the story slightly. Which, if you're just mining this for ideas anyway, who cares? I don't. I've already been paid. Do it the way you want. To be perfectly blunt, and also, I write this to provide a basis for entertainment. I don't. It's rule 0, right? If it's not fun, throw it out and change it to make it fun. Also, some things to quick rewind to about 8 minutes ago. This video will be private on YouTube for 1 week, or till the end of the month, technically speaking. So it's kind of exclusive to Ko-Fi supporters until the end of the month, at which point, when I send Ko-Fi supporters the material I've committed to, I'll set all of these behind the screen stuff public, so people on YouTube can watch it as well. Anyway, so the executive. I have notes on the executive. Nope, open the right window, you fool. A well-meaning individual with a weakness for gambling and a need to prove himself is my notes for this particular character. So there's a couple of sentences, right? Yes. The executive has... And now we get to enjoy my typing sounds. Please do enjoy the background music. I can make that louder if anyone wants me to as well. That is simply a volume slider. And the typing sounds. Anyway, the executive has risen far through determination, ambition. Nope. You know what? Let's make this alphabetical. Through ambition, determination, and a willingness to take risks. However, as this is more of a relaxed kind of stream, relaxed setting, like I'm just writing and happy to chat with chat. So if you do have any questions, of course, please do feel free to ask as I'm typing. This is material down here. The Word window. What I'm trying to awkwardly point to the Microsoft Word window is just to provide something to talk about. If you have anything else you want to talk about or ask, ideally related to ttrpgs, but this is more of like a chatting thing, feel free to do so. I will answer as best I can. Through ambition, determination, and a willingness to take risks. They run a small but well-reputed company and are a regular, I don't know why, a regular attendee of the convention. I need to get back into the writing mindset that I was in the other day when I was writing other characters up. So that's a problem. If you're wondering about price, by the way, my usual my usual kind of rule of thumb, if it's less than 10 pages, like $2.50. If it's more than 10 pages, $5. If it's more than like 30 pages, maybe $7.50. It depends. It's very fluid. But you know, if that kind of thing is important, itch does allow community copies, and I might figure something else out with community copies on itch and discount codes on drive-thru. Ryan and personality type. They were a small but well-reputed company and are a regular attendee of the convention. They lack the caution found in any of their peers, but make up for it with a my brain, it's gone chat, it's gone. Make up for it with a an uncanny sense of intuition. How many? I think it was like 4 lines ish. Yes. So I'm just trying to kind of flick between documents and kind of recap how I approached this with the other characters I wrote. It has been known to cause some trouble on some occasions. Oops. Nope. There's too many. Yep, I knew the moment I did it as 2 season 1s. Gosh dang it. Cause some trouble on some occasions as they can act rashly and pull forwards into a situation considering all the angles. Goals. The executive's goal is to secure a reliable and profitable supply chain for contracts they will be honoring in the next financial year. Usually when it comes to NPCs, well, I guess when it comes to providing characters as NPCs or as PCs, you know, characters for people to play, just keep it simple. Like, some players will just make up their own character goals anyway, and that's totally valid. It's totally fine. But for people who need that extra bit of direction, just have a simple goal. If they're an NPC, particularly in Locus, which is very much more focused around like short-term one-shots of a handful of sessions anyway, because Locus has a defined endpoint, unlike a lot of role-playing games. They're not going to be around all that often as a foil, which is what the game calls like major NPCs, foils and monsters anyway. So they don't need this complex overriding goal. There's no villain in Locus. Well, technically there's no like intelligent thinking villain in the way that most RPGs have an intelligent, sapient thinking villain to have like a big bad arc with world-ending schemes, plots, that kind of thing. The monsters are manifestations of the characters and the incident that has caused this place to go bad. So they don't need that. They're all very focused on their own thing. So NPCs don't need horrendously detailed motivations and just having that surface layer thing of make money. Okay. Of course, it does help to have a bit more information than that. Hey Satat, how you doing? So, you know what? I've just noticed that the chat box is a bit hard to read on the background, so please bear with me. I will, That's in Stream Elements. I'll make that a bit darker so it stands out a bit more. YouTube, I'm just going to pause the recording. Okay, YouTube, we're back. I fixed the chat issue. Where was I? Oh, yes. So, on top of... Obviously, you need more than just make money. Suggestion, make the Word document zoom in a bit. The trouble is, if I zoom in too far, I can't focus on what I'm writing because the text is too big. Like, 130, because of how my... Okay, so, it never really comes up on stream, so no, you're all excused for not knowing this. I have a short-sighted eye and a long-sighted eye, and they cancel each other out in most circumstances, but particularly with writing, and the space that I have in this tiny corner of the room, I can't get my monitor far enough back for my eyes to be comfortable. So at this, I can't actually focus on the text to see what I'm writing properly. So I've got it at 120 because that is zoomed, but it's as big as I can get it where I can still read the text. So apologies for that. I guess what I could do is crop the Word window and make the actual thing bigger. You know what, YouTube? Let's experiment. I'm going to pause again. Don't pause again. I think we've figured something out that works. It's as big as it's getting. Wink. Where was I? Yeah. So how they achieve this is also a thing to be cognizant of when providing any kind of resource to someone who might use your notes. So, contracts they'll be honouring in the next financial year. Let's see. They will not make take significant risks. So, yeah. To achieve this. Will be willing to consider a gamble. Price is right. So, another thing. So that's who they are, what they want, and now the actual mechanical stuff. So characters in Locus have a virtue. It's aspirational value, really. It's a virtue. It's exactly what it sounds like. Page 36 of the player's guide. And virtues have mechanical stuff that we won't cover here because it's not directly relevant, but suffice to say, if you play in line with your virtue, you get good stuff, and you know. Specifically, you get willpower back, and other things. But so, I don't think temperance is really the right thing to be doing here because I've hinted at gambling, and temperance is kind of moderation and that kind of stuff. Motivation is a possibility, although I believe I gave motivation to the negotiator. Community or compassion? I'm thinking maybe compassion. I'm thinking having like a gambler who genuinely does care for the people who work for them. Will this be available via home heating donation later? This Unstable they'll be like theoretically yes. This will be provided and the words in one order or the other do occasionally come out of my mouth. 1, welcome to the stream. 2, I will probably provide a discount code later, as this is part of a game jam. So this is for a game jam rather than my own project. Those are words. They came out in some kind of order. I will clarify them if needs be. So TLDR, discount for people who support Ko-Fi, and probably Twitch subs as well, and then just available for cheap purchase outside of that. There we go. Virtue. Compassion. The executive truly cares about those who work for them, and they'll do whatever they can to secure the financial personal security. That's not how you spell that word. Security of those charges. Going back to the eyesight thing, I can focus on more zoomed in than this, but I just get eye fatigue. I get eye fatigue from black and white anyway, but I know that it's kind of one of the easiest things to read, and with dyslexia, some people obviously can read black on different background colors better. But then if I change the background color, other people might not be able to read it on that background color, and it's a whole thing. So unfortunately, we're stuck with black and white. Sounds like a sandwich. Executive truly cares about those who work for them and do whatever they can to secure the financial and personal security of those charges. Oftentimes, their compassion causes them to take risks, but they always have a backup plan in case the gamble fails. Okay, so that's the virtue. I also need to assign. Yeah, so that's the virtue. So, haunt. Haunt is the bad thing, let's say. The haunt is something that your character has done in their past. Could be relatively recent, could be years ago. But it's something that they've done that either they or society believes they should feel negatively towards. Obviously, some people do bad things that don't care that they've done bad things, but still technically qualifies as a haunt if you are a serial murderer. And haunts are much. So virtues are. I rattled off some words when I was talking about virtues of temperance, motivation, community, and compassion. Haunts are tied to vices. Sorry, let me scroll through. The vices of temptation, apathy, discord, and malice. Now, obviously, I've mentioned gambling and risk taking earlier, so the haunt is related to gambling, which is, I'm just going to straight up say it's a temptation haunt. And much as with virtue, so the Locus uses a deck of cards and a set of dice, and the cards. You draw a card at certain points in the game, and if it matches your virtue, you get stuff. If it matches your haunt, it's harder to get rid of. I think, the trouble with knowing so many games is stuff gets lost and scrambled. Please bear with me. I've said that, and now I'm like, is that actually the case? So please bear with me. Whereas, I guess here is the best place to look. Yeah, there we go. So, quick mechanical. Can a haunt be something society believes they did, even if they didn't? No. So the haunt is what inspires the monster. So unless it's like unless it's something they've done that is negative, but society believes they've done something equally awful but different, and that has coloured how they perceive what they did. I guess you could word it that way. So it's not an unequivocal no. It's just jumping through hoops. Certain things in game will cause you to draw cards. The more cards you have, the worse it gets. The higher the average card count at the table, if you split the party in the divisions, the lower through the layers of reality you get. And the lower the layer of reality, the worse things are. The more removed you are from reality, the more likely a monster is to appear, that kind of thing. There are 5 ways you can remove cards from your hand. But they can only remove non-haunt suit cards. So all the haunts and the virtues are tied to card suits. And the 5 ways that you can remove cards allow you to remove a neutral card from your hand. So it's not tied to your haunt. 3 of those 5 ways do also allow you to remove a haunt card if you so choose. But because it's, half of the methods that allow you to remove a card from your hand means it's less likely that you're going to be able to remove a haunt card from your hand. I hope that's clear. I know I'm not explaining it very clearly. I'm very out of practice. I've had like a month and a half off of this show from the Onyx Path, and explaining new systems is always difficult because I don't want to be like, hey, this is exactly how you play it, because I want to be demonstrating how to play it on Tabletop Surgery, and B, encouraging you to go and buy the rulebook yourself and just figure it out yourself. So it's kind of a fine line to tread between being informational and kind of explaining what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, and also not spoiling everything for everyone at the same time. You know what? Just to quote from the rulebook, player has 5 opportunities to remove a neutral, non-haunt card from their hand. Skip the opportunities. If they fulfill one of the last 3 opportunities in the list above, they may remove a haunt suit instead of a neutral card if they wish. Boom. There we go. I could have just done that all along. Hey, Kiwi guy. How are you doing? So, haunt is definitely related to temptation. And along with that, the real Kiwi has arrived. You are pushing. You're pushing it. I mean, Kiwi isn't in chat, so I guess technically yes. But you're really pushing it there. I'm okay, Kiwi guy. I'm kind of flailing and panicking running this show again. It's been a while. So tied to the haunt is how the character feels about the haunt. Again, this is useful for an NPC because it can inform behavioral choices and how they react to certain circumstances. But more importantly, as a player, you do have to actually assign how your character feels about their haunt, because that can then, or that theoretically will then inform the behavior and other stuff of the monster created specifically for that haunt. So it's on a spectrum of pessimistic to optimistic and ashamed to content. How do we feel, chat? This is the person who had. I feel like they're trying to do better because at some point in their past they messed up and took a huge risk that they knew wasn't going to pay off, but they risked it anyway. So they're trying to make up for what they did. So an optimist obviously is like, hey, I can make up for what I did. A pessimist is more about, I can't make up for this, but I can still keep trying. They don't believe they can make up for what they did, but depending on how they feel ashamed to content spectrum, they might be trying to make up for it, or they just don't care. I think a denying pessimist. It wasn't like that. I didn't mean to. It didn't really be my fault, could it? Let's say it was an actual... Let's say it was a card game, and they're blaming chance rather than the fact that they went into the card game willingly. Whoa, hey, Harry. Harry did make an entrance. That is true. Okay, so what did I just say, chat? I got distracted by people talking in chat and stuff. Denying pessimist. There we go. Okay. Okay. So card game, big risk they lost. Yeah, that's what I'm going for. So optimist and pessimist, I've already mentioned. Obviously, a pessimist believes they can't do anything about it. An optimist believes they can if they work hard enough. The other spectrum is ashamed, resigned, conflicted, denying, and content. And the content pessimist is they just don't care what they did. And I don't feel like that's vibing with this character, with their compassion. So denying is kind of is the next step down from that. And that's why I've gone with denying. At the beginning of their career, Detective joined a high stakes card game with the idea of spending the winnings on a business investment on behalf of their team. They blame their loss on the cards and the no, even better. Oh, war has happened in my chat. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh, also chat, I've been thinking, I need to talk this through with Angel as well, but when I've got some money, by which, so I owe myself, like I owe my savings account some money, so once I've paid all that off, when I've got some money, the Team Angel, Team Bubbles thing, I'm thinking I might do away with, because we have the slimes and the trolls, so pretty sure Angel's firmly on Team Slime, or Team Cube, so it'll just be slimes versus trolls, and I feel like everyone's going to win and benefit from this because we'll be funding shoes for trolls and hats for slimes. So there's that. It's also just because I genuinely can't think of any use in which you'll need the emote I was thinking of for Team Bubbles. So it's fine. We've obviously got the Cube Heart emote already in the Pride Cube. So I'll get a Troll Heart emote, and then that can denote your loyalty. But that's obviously that's a ways in the future. They blame their semicolon time. They used money taken from the company account as their buy-in, and the subsequent collapse of the company on random chance, and believe that it could have happened to anyone. Pretty sure that works. I'm just double checking the denying pessimist. Yeah, that works. So that's that. So that's their haunt, that's their vice, that's how they view their haunt. So attributes, you'll notice the attributes frailty, clumsiness, carelessness, impatience, cowardice, ignorance, repulsion, and temper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're all negative. They're all negative terms. And it's a negative attribute scale, so the lower your score in an attribute, the better you are at that thing. So someone whose frailty value is 1 is not very frail at all. They're pretty strong. 3 is the average, and 5 is you are the absolute worst. So with that coward, this is I'm going to change these values, but that cowardice 5 means that they're not terribly brave. Something that was really nice of Cobblepath Games, in the core rulebook, there is actually an example adventure. I'm waiting for it to load. I'm a really big fan of when games have like one-shots in the core rulebook, because it means that you can get a feel for how the game plays without having to invest in further resources. But as part of that, they do provide pre-gens. Now, the pre-gens they provide in the core rulebook are different to the ones provided in Sticks and Stones in terms of like style. The ones in the core rulebook provide you with a name, their haunt, and how they feel about it, and then it gives you like extra. It gives you prompts for like personalizing the character to you. But as part of that, because it is like a pre-written, pre-generated character that you still go through character creation with, there are 4 sets of attributes pre-written for you. So this one, the one that I've used here, is the patient and charismatic, but frail and cowardly preset. I'm going to go with observant and dexterous, but arrogant and cowardly, and I'm going to change some values around. So frailty is your strength, clumsiness is like dexterity, carelessness. You know what? I'm not even going to bother doing all that. It's kind of, whoa, that's wrong. Nope, that's bad. That's not the right font. Normal, please. One of these days I'll remember to copy without formatting. However, because I do want them to be slightly more observant, let's make them slightly more impatient, because they have been described as rash. Give them ignorance 2. Oh, wait, nope. Not impatient, it's carelessness. Nope. Oh, in case everyone needs to know, because I use it quite often, the redo shortcut on the keyboard is Control Y. Clumsiness 3. Carelessness 2. Carelessness 1 is like completely calm and collected. But that's not someone who's going to make rash actions every now and then. So that's why I did that tweak. Stupid moving stuff. Hey, that's fair. Also helps GM determine they should be. Yes, yeah. I'll see if you have a pre-gen. It helps to determine how the GM should be running the game. That needs to be that. I need to do that. Don't want to move any of these others around. You know what? Yes, cowardice 3, temper 4. Okay, so that's attributes. And then skills. Skills are kind of nebulous. Characters start with 2 skills, and they are broken down into trained, expertise, and knowledge. And I said it like that because I'm desperately trying to remember. And specialty. There we go. It's like this. I know there's a 4th one. So trained skills are skills that you train for. Knowledge skills are more like academia, where you know stuff like theoretical about a particular subject. Expertise is a natural aptitude that you've then refined, and then specialty is allows you to use one of your attributes in a very targeted way. So this is an executive, so I would probably say let's say specialty patience. Not patience. Cool head. Specialty arm. Brackets. -1 to cowardice when I don't want it to be just like a high pressure situation, because it's a horror game. It's all going to be high pressure. Nah, that's too broad. I do want to keep this, but it needs a very specific situation. Oh, I know. -1 to impatience when trying to gauge let's say to read someone's behavior. And now that I've typed this out, I realize that I could probably just rename it and use a different attribute and it would work better. Please bear with me while I figure this out. Oh, even better. Even better than that. Going head to head with a rival. Yeah, like an argument or something. So that's one skill. And then it'll be knowledge finances. Just trying to think through the adventure, and there's definitely, yeah, there's definitely a place. You know, I'll put economics. Definitely a place for that to come in for the character to get use out of it. That is hyphenating. Okay, so items, active and passive items. Passive items are just like small things you can carry. Active items are items that can be used to make a check easier. So characters in Locus start with 2 items. So let's go with... See, the thing is here, I can think of loads of items, but it's like, how could I use this to make a check easier? PDA. So it'll be... use it as a distraction or like to make notes on something, that kind of thing. Hang on, I just need to go and check something. I will be right back. Hey YouTube, I just agonized over items, don't worry about it. You can see exactly PDA playing cards. Spot effects are kind of like, not single-use things, but minor auditory, visual, physical manifestations of the character's haunt. They only apply to that character, and you kind of sprinkle them throughout without using them too much to mildly unnerve rather than to be like, hey, fear, ah! So, considering that there's a gambling problem here, spot effects, the sound of shuffling cards. This smell. I'm just going absolutely stereotypical here. Whiskey and cigar smoke. The feel of poker chips. No, the sound of falling poker chips. Feel of felt under your fingertips. I'm aiming for 5. So we've got sound, we've got smell, we've got feel. There's taste and there's 5 senses. Sound. Oh, taste and sight. Obviously, there's no sight here. It's just sounds. So let's go with a sight one. Scattered playing cards. Nothing ominous about scattered playing cards at all. So those are the spot effects, and the idea is that they get scattered around to unnerve the character, to remind them of their haunt, because the conceit of Locus is that, or one of the conceits anyway, is that the Locus, the place itself, it wants to feed off of the fear of the people trapped in it. So the spot effects are minor manifestations of the Locus trying to just get under their skin to unnerve them. And then their unique monster is obviously driven to make them afraid. Much as this is the executive, their monster will be the gambler. Okay, so we're going to start with a visual description of the monster, I believe, based on what I wrote the other day. Please bear with me while I scroll through my document. There we go. Yep, kind of like the physical appearance of the monster, and then we'll go into an explanation of the symbolism of the monster, and then the behavior of the monster, and then the monster's statistics themselves. So the gambler. So we've got someone who entered a high-stakes poker game and lost company money, causing the company to collapse. So I'm kind of thinking, like, it's not going to have a face, because the players at the table and the people who lost their jobs are all faceless now to the executive, because it could have happened to anyone. It's not their fault. They don't dwell on who lost out or who benefited. They dwell on the fact that it happened, right? Or they're more concerned with the fact that it happened to them when it could have happened to anyone else. No, even better. All the faces, it's the face of the executive, but it's stiff, it's unmoving. It's a mask. No, doesn't work. Doesn't work. Why would it be a mask? I do like the fact that it's their face, though, because it reinforces that it was them. It's their fault. They did it. They were to blame. Doesn't have to be humanoid either. Their face could just be on it, so it could be it could be like a rolling poker chip, which is just a bit silly, but or a playing card. Actually. As an idea. Something made of playing cards and money. But I don't want it to be humanoid. They're working in catering, so it could be something related to food. And then this is where the process slows down, because now I've got to consider symbolism and stuff and make it work. So I'll probably only be able to get like 2 characters done this stream, and then the rest I'll have to do off stream, because the deadline, as I said, is Halloween. So I'm going to have to be working this weekend. Gosh dang it. I keep thinking of the elementals from Hercules. I don't think there's anything in it. They're just like really stylistically jagged and sharp. Greed, corruption. No, it's not corruption, but it's also themes of greed, which is usually, like corpulent, let's say. There is advice somewhere in the director's guide. Or like building blocks that you can start with based on the vice that the monster is tied to. So please bear with me while I try to find those. Here we go. So this was a temptation. Color palette: sanguine, violet, magenta, red. Generic symbolism: reaching hands, apples, caduceus symbols, or coinage, foxes. Well, coinage does already lend itself, and I was trying to figure things along that way. Physical traits: human aspects, snake aspects, change elements of bondage, fatty or swollen, blistered skin, virus fixable size, associated sensations: warmth, clamminess, smell of food, flesh cooked or well burned, or sex: jingle of coinage, aching joints. Okay. Huh. I don't know if this works, but I'm going to type it out, and then I'm going to read it back, and we'll see if that works. I might also rename it from the Gambler, but for now, resembles a giant snake. It scales a... Alright. Bright emerald green, and its eyes... Please bear with me. Its scales are a bright emerald green. And it makes almost no sound as it slithers along the floor. When it rears... That's not how I spell that word. Sounds like you. Are you a giant snake, Harry? When it rears back, its hood opens. Maybe. To reveal a pattern in its scales. Please, thank you. There's just something about typing when people are watching. It throws off my ability to spell properly. Like, I know the words, because I touch type usually, and I'm usually okay at it, but the added pressure of streaming just throws it all off. It also doesn't help that I type at an angle. Resembles the executive's face. Two golden coins where their eyes should be. So hooded cobras spit their venom, right? If I'm remembering correctly. Yes. Yes, they do. Sometimes I wear my human skin and then shed it at night. That sounds super comfortable, Ari. I'm there for it. I need other physical descriptions of it. Smell is dry. Almost papery, and when it is struck, blood is amber and harsh smelling. Obviously, we're leaning hard on Christian symbolism of the serpent here. Temptation. Let's tidy this up. Place of hissing, it emits the noise of cards shuffling. It emits is a really clunky word there, but I don't really have a better way of putting it. You like that touch? Thank you. I aim to please. I'm also trying to stay away from body horror too much because that's already accounted for, and there's other kinds of horror, as hard as it pains me to say. Right. This explanation of the symbolism is the next paragraph, I believe. Yes. The executive has spent years having the urge to gamble with such high stakes a game. Desire is always there, whispering in the back of their mind. And scales at first glance. Seem to be made of the green felt of card tables. And its blood resembles whiskey in all ways except taste. You know what? Let's say it's blood and venom. Because I can. Remember, if it bites you and you die, it's venomous. If you bite it and it dies, it's poisonous. They do mean two different things. Its hood is a way of forcing the executive to literally face what they did. And driven by money list. Because sometimes symbolism doesn't have to be subtle. What else do I put in here? Anything else I can add about symbolism and stuff? Just trying to think. Those struck by... Probably going to rename this. I don't think Gambler really fits, but those struck by the Gambler's Venom. Become numb and repeat the last action it took obsessively. No. The last action they took until the venom wears. A note on stuff like this. So, infliction down here inflicts a condition. Not every monster can inflict a condition, but conditions last until one of two requirements are satisfied. One, steps taken within the narrative to remove the condition, or two, if you're in a conflict at the end of your next turn. It doesn't paralyze you until like someone helps. It just, as an example of paralysis, it like, obviously because I'm talking about snakes, you're not out of the conflict. You're just out of it for a turn until it wears off. Out of conflict, however, it's a narrative thing rather than a mechanical thing. you just can't move until something changes that situation, or until the director says otherwise. And then the gambler's behavior. You know what? The urge. The urge is aggressive. It will stop at nothing. And it's endeavors to force the executive to face their past. I think this was like 2 or 3 lines. 3 or 4 lines. Never mind. Oh, like 4 or 5. Is almost single-minded in its task and uses its hood to ensure that its victims exactly who is to blame for their misfortune. Should it catch the executive, it will use its venom to trap them in place. Force them to watch as it kills their peers. Dun dun dun. Okay, so as attributes are rated 1 through 5, 1 being the best, 5 being the worst, monsters also get much simplified attributes: attack, chase, search, and resist. Behaviors and weakness have no like real mechanical weight to when it comes to dice rolling, but if you hit them with a weakness, then you know you just do more damage, for example. Infliction I talked about gives them a condition, and then Death's Door is just how much health the monster has. There is a calculation for figuring out how strong a monster is. So I've pulled that relevant page up. I'm thinking, based on how this is, its attack's gonna be pretty high. Let's say attack 2, and it's a cobra, so it's an envenomed bite. It is a snake, however, so, and you know, it can't open doors very easily. So we'll give it a relatively low chase value of 4. It will still chase, but it's not terribly good at it. No, actually, you know what? Let's give it an average value of 3. Give it a resist of 4. It's not terribly good at resisting blows. It just takes them. But it will chase with a rapid slither. Search value, so it's just searching for things. I guess we'll just keep it with snakes. It can taste heat, or it can sense heat. I'm gonna put that as 2, I think. Just sense heat for now. It's just got hard scales. That's how it resists. behaviors. It's not an ambush predator. It will just strike head on. Head on aggression, let's say. Weakness. Doors. Door handles. Stairs. For real, though. It's cold. It's a lizard. Slows down. Infliction. So, infliction is notated in with 4 words. What they do, how you resist, the condition that they inflict, and the difficulty of the check to resist. So, how they actually inflict you is the envenomed bite. And you know what? Let's go. Let's not have this as a physical resistance thing, because it's more of it's an urge rather than actual venom. This is a compulsion. I think maybe temper or patience. Impatience, sorry. You know, let's just go with temper. Let's go with temper. Why not? Compelled, and then we'll give it a hard. Death's Door is rated in sets of 3. I'm gonna give it 15, and then depending on how the mental maths works, that might be altered. Compelled. Character must repeat last action they took. So if the last action you took was to hide, you have to hide again. If the last action you took was to attack it, you have to attack it. But it's that repetitive compulsion, you know, the addiction to do something over and over again. So I'm trying to get to go for with that. I don't know how well that works. I just don't want to. I don't want to use the word addiction, because that has its own connotations with trauma and stuff like that. Okay, now to consult the formula. Every attribute. Okay, so I'm going to just spat out numbers at this point. I do apologize. 3, 2 is 5, plus another 3 is 8, plus 1 is 9. It will give chase is 11. Goes up to 14 for the infliction. Plus another 4 for its health. Takes it to 18, which is 15 to 20 is the balanced points range. So that's pretty balanced. I don't have to do anything with this. Wonderful. Is aggressive and will chase the executive. Chance. I'm going to save that. So there's one character. Now I do have to. So a note on how many characters that will be provided, because I think I'm only going to be able to get 2 done this stream. So 2 of the players have made characters. Negotiator and the executive is 4. I have 2 more foils for 6, and I might add a 4th, add a 7th, just so that if you have an average group size of 4. There are 3 foils, but I don't know. As I said, we'll see how that goes. But that's the executive. So the next foil that needs updating, or needs fleshing out, I should say, is the I guess bar manager. Oh, that's 1, isn't it? Nope, that's 2. Curses. So I'm going to take my wellness break. I'm going to say hi to my fiance and do super mushy stuff. But I'll be back in like 5 or so minutes. YouTube, I'm just going to pause the recording. But I'll be back in like 5 or so minutes to continue with the bar managers, like motivations, stats, all of that stuff. So please do hydrate, grab a snack, stretch, all of that stuff. And if you want to, obviously I can't make you, but if you want to, please do consider checking out my Ko-Fi page and looking at the stuff there if you're interested in supporting the show, if you're enjoying it, or me as a streamer or as a ttrpg writer. You don't have to, but I'll be back shortly. Okay, so the bar manager. The bar manager hook that I came up with was they use business secrets they overhear as the course of their job to essentially blackmail people for monies, or industrial espionage, that kind of thing. Worked at Harlock, Peak Hotel and Spa for the past 15 years, and has worked their way up from casual day staff to their current position. Well respected in the local community. Whoop. Hang on, please bear with me. Yep. Let's go with and are on terms with most of the hotel attendees. They are usually happy to lend and provide advice. You know what? No, never mind. Usually happy to lend, to lend an ear to anyone who needs it. Anyone who needs one. Regulars know that they I don't want to say regulars know they can be trusted to keep secret, because they can't. That's the whole thing. That's the haunt. But I still want to, like, this person is very much a fixture of the community. Know that they can be depended on to cut someone off when they've had too much, when they've had too much. And then, like, personality-wise, the bar manager. Remains as positive as possible. For their customers, knowing the power of the smile, knowing that sometimes all someone needs is to see a friendly smiling face. Goals. The bar manager is working towards. Sorry, bear with me. What did I call it? I think I just called it the hunting lodge. Yes. The hunting lodge from the hotel owners. And operating it as an independent business. Been working towards this fall for several years. Hey, there's a small horse over there. Let's go towards it. They've been working towards this goal for several years. And many of the lodge's suppliers do business with no one else on the team. Virtue. Well, community seems to be the obvious virtue here. I think community was the... I don't know, motivation was the negotiator. Cool, community it is. Virtue, community. The bar manager believes that if they can take full ownership of the lodge, they can make several changes to make it a more welcoming and relaxing place that the local populace can go to. They need an escape from the pressures of their lives. So that's their goal. I'm just gonna copy this. You know what? I can just copy this stuff up here. Aha. This, these, nope, thank you. Their haunt, however, is as I say, blackmail. So, nope, that's the wrong way. think that might be Discord. I could see an argument for temptation, but I have already used temptation. But I could see an argument for temptation being, you know, the financial gain. But they're doing it for they're doing it because they want to improve people's lives, not for personal gain. So I think that cuts out malice, because there's more of a selfishness than anything else. Whereas they do want to create the division and disrupt social structures of like, they're dividing the supplies from the hotel, and they want to break the hotel bar structure. They are discontent with the community as it stands. We'll go with Discord. And again, this is I'm pretty sure this is someone who is going to be happy with what they've done. Sorry, I'm just checking the attitudes. Ooh, let's go with resigned optimist. They know that something needs to change, but they haven't been able to act on it. They may well be very positive about their plans, but nothing ever seems to come of them. Oh, no, content optimist. They just don't give it. They don't care about all they did. That wasn't bad. Who cares? Your new job has you doing some onboarding clearly meant for boomers. Oh no. Oh no. Oh dear. But congrats on the new job again. That's pretty hype. The bar manager exploits abuses the opportunities their position gives them and eavesdrops on business meetings and discussions. They then sell that information to the highest bidder. A couple of years ago, this led to a crucial business deal falling through, and I don't want to I don't want to be like, hey, they committed suicide, because that would be a different thing. I feel a different haunt. The haunt here is very much the blackmail and not caring about the blackmail. You're a real researcher now, Amir Mai. Hey, do you enjoy research? If so, even better. Businesses collapsed as a result. So, like, the thing that they should feel bad about is they ruined multiple businesses, but they don't care because it just happens. Right. Feed the rich. Exactly. Okay, so repulsion. Oh no, they're gonna be repulsion 1 because the repulsion is the charisma. Impatience has. I'm gonna put impatience up by 2, by 1. Sorry, to balance that point spend out. I feel like. Let's give them a slow burn temper, but they can be careless. Pretty charismatic. Averagely intelligent. Not terribly brave. Yeah, I'm good with that. I'm good with that. Skills. Expertise in... Oh, wait, no. Not expertise. It would be... I guess knowledge industrial espionage. Contract law. Like, they've been looking into... They would need an understanding of contracts to run their own business, right? So there we go. That's how I'm rationalizing that. What is OBS doing? And why is it doing it? Because the VPN's off. Interesting. I guess also they could have training. Trained mixology. Really come up, but it is very flavoursome. Flavoursome, flavourful. Like the drinks they could make with the trained mixology skill. I've got nothing better. Drink mixing. Items. They absolutely have an ice pick. And they absolutely have a digital audio recorder. Spot effects. Low murmured conversation. What else? I guess, another character's voice is distorted as if by a poor quality. Sorry, as if by a vocal disguise, I guess. Voice modulator. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. Or words, technically, I suppose. Trouble I'm having with it being set modern day, which is something that the players and I discussed, is that the stuff I want to do, like a tape scratch or tape rewinding, to, recording conversations, I can't really do because it's a digital audio recorder. It doesn't have tape. But I guess it is the symbolism of it. So that's two sounds, sorry. Visual indications. a mostly hidden microphone. Full speaker. The hyphen is needed there, word, because it is referring to the microphone or the speaker. It is describing them. A book of accounts detailing characters, the bar manager's transactions. And the last one. 2 sights, 2 sounds. Feeling of someone behind you watching. The monster. What would that be called? That would be called, obviously, a placeholder. I guess the secret for now. Okay. Back to the rulebook for the inspiration stuff. So this was a Discord haunt, yes. Color palette, melancholic, cyan, blue, violet. Generic symbolism, birds, arrows, yellow roses, broken mirrors. Physical traits, many heads or faces, gouged and bruised flesh, hallucinatory auras, fractured imagery, chimeric hybrids. Associated sensations, headaches, earache, loud noise such as sirens or human noises like whispered gossip or the murmur of crowds. Feeling of being short of breath before a panic attack, smell of burnt plastic. So I'm thinking, as this is someone who eavesdrops for industrial espionage purposes and doesn't care that they do this, the monster is going to be more about repercussion than anything else. So how's it gonna generate fear when they don't care what they're doing? Well, the immediate and obvious answer is a representation of them not being able to do it any longer. So I guess it would make sense to bear a resemblance to them in some way. Or the lodge. They're doing this for the lodge. So what if the monster is like a manifestation of the hunting lodge? And like tries to convince them that it doesn't want them. This isn't the way to gain its favor, maybe? I think the idea has merit. So, physical appearance. I feel like oh gosh, I do want to step away from humanoid. So I guess it would have to be... Well, it's a hunting lodge, right? So an animal. But it's got a head it's either missing a head or the head is the head of a different animal that's been mounted as a trophy. Okay, so secret has the body of a large wolf and head of a stag. And the head of a stag. Sorry, I'm just thinking things through in my head. Its fur is coarse, razor sharp, and glints in the light. And its antlers seem to move with a life of their own. The body moves as you would expect it to. The stag's head is visibly taxidermied. Is that not how you spell that? Taxidermized? Is taxidermy not a word? Please bear with me while I check this. No, it is totally a word. According to the free dictionary, anyway. So I'm just checking to see if this is actually the the right Nowhere is actually like, hey, this is how you do the past tense of taxidermy as an adjective or a verb. Well, I guess technically it's not a verb, is it? So that does make sense. It's a noun and an adjective. Okay, no, that's on me. Just making up words, don't mind me. Visibly preserved, let's say. The eyes are motionless. Balls of glass. Fur is patchy in places. Stag's ears have been replaced with small microphones, and a speaker is held within its jaws. I mean, it's kind of body horror, but you know, there's that. How much space was dedicated to this? 5? I could write a bit more. Actually, what else do I want to convey? So it's chimeric for the, just discordant imagery. Microphones and the speakers tying into the eavesdropping and relaying of messages. Body's alive. The wolf body is alive and razor sharp, as words have power kind of thing. But then the head, the decision-making process is dead because the barkeeper just doesn't care. No, I think we're good. I guess I could assign it to scent, and it does need to make noise. And it moves. Whose paws make almost no sound. Only the susurrus of a whispered conversation. There we go. Make it whatever scent you want. Now onto the symbolism side of things. I want to give it a smell, but like balls don't usually burn incense or anything. The scent is vague, indefinable. Reminiscent of the antibacterial spray, antibacterial cleaner. Of a mixture of alcohol, of drinking alcohol, and the antibacterial cleaner. The bar manager uses to clean up. Secret exists to confront the Bark manager. Whoops. That's not right. No, not confront. I mean, they all exist to confront. The secret exists to force the bar manager to realize that their actions have caused significant harm. Both of the animals that it is comprised of can be found room. Indeed. Our manager has hidden a microphone in the snag's head. And the position of the two animals is a representation. The bar manager's willingness to do what they believe best for the community. Like a wolf being a defensive pack, trying to stay away from alpha beta because that's all been discredited, and the uncaring. I guess eavesdropping is like passive, isn't it? Because you're not doing anything, you're just overhearing. The uncaring, passive, and emotionless. Emotionless? And emotionless way in which they gather their secrets. Secret is less interested in killing the bar manager than other monsters in killing their origins. It exists more to follow them and reveal their true nature to the world. It will pursue them. That's not even a word. Single-mindedly. And broadcast anything they say within earshot in a bold, emotionless tone. That emanates. Emanates is a really good word that people don't use anywhere nearly often enough. That emanates from the microphone in the stag's mouth. And the stag cat's mouth. Statistic. So it's not really about the attack. It will fight to defend itself with some razor claws. It's all about the chase. Search. Claws and teeth. Yeah, true. Well, it doesn't have teeth. No, it has no teeth. It has a stag's head with a mic with a speaker in place of teeth. I mean, it has the antlers, I guess. I guess razor claws and antlers. I mean, so chases. A lot of the things in brackets are more just a narrative descriptor of how it does the thing. So chase is like because if it's flying, then if you go into a small area, it obviously will be having difficulty. So I guess the chase will be a tireless gait. It will just keep going. But equally, it can't open doors or climb very easily. I'll just put lope for now. Search. Keen hearing, because you know it has microphones in its ears. Dead flesh, because it's dead. Behaviors. Ominous stalking. Corners its prey. Weakness. It's blind because it has glassy ears. Glassy eyes. Sorry. Does it need an infliction? I don't think it particularly does. I think its threat is more in the fact that it just keeps coming for the bar manager. N/A, but it gets a lot of health. Let us see if this is balanced. Okay, so 1 plus 4 is 5, plus another 4 is 9, plus 1 is 10. Plus 2 for 11, because it will definitely give chase. Plus 6 for all of its health. Which is 17, which puts it in the balanced and average area. Excellent. Wonderful. Perfect. I'm going to save that, because I need to head off and start getting dinner ready for Angel and myself, because she has a late business call, so we have to eat earlier than usual. Also, I don't particularly like. I'm okay with what I've done. Yeah, there's no affliction. I'm okay with what I've done today. So hopefully you've all enjoyed this little exploration of Locus, I guess. I have a lot of stuff I need to do off stream. I've got another character, another monster, like another character in its entirety, another monster, and possibly another character with their monster, plus all of the items. So that's a thing that I have to do, that I'll be doing off stream. Reminder, if you're watching this after the fact, this video will be unlisted on YouTube until the end of the month, and the link will be provided to my Ko-Fi supporters to watch at their leisure. And then after the month is up, any behind the screen streams will be public on YouTube for anyone to watch. I'm not setting them as subscriber only on Twitch, because that messes with some stuff that I really don't want to mess with. But if you have enjoyed the show, please do consider either subscribing on Twitch or supporting it for financial support anyway, or supporting it on Ko-Fi. It is £1 because you just want to support, or £5 or more because you'd like to get some written ttrpg content. And as I said at the start of the stream, I'm committed to one section of a 5e compatible campaign guide. This month's is a whole list of... Hey, Kiwi, just wrapping up. This month is a whole list of feats for use in 5e, but I hope you're okay. I hope you're feeling better now. Yes, whole list of feats for 5e, and then any other content that I write that is 5e compatible that goes onto my Ko-Fi will be free for my supporters. If it's on a different store platform, Drive-Thru, Itch, or any of the community content sites like the DM's Guild, my Ko-Fi supporters just get a discount code, because I thought that was fair. But that's it. If you have enjoyed the words, they keep going. If you have enjoyed what you've heard about Locus, please do consider purchasing it. It is available on sale right now. That is a Halloween bundle that you can buy to the end of the month that includes the core rulebook, two pre-written adventures, and like an advice document. All for $40. You've got 6 days, 6 hours, and 42 minutes left. The core rulebook itself is $32, so you're saving you're saving $21.99 by buying the bundle while you can. If you are interested in seeing the game in practice, in action, please do keep an eye out on my social media channels and Byron Mask's social media channels for when Tabletop Surgery goes live. When we stream Tabletop Surgery next, I should say, because Locus is the featured game in that. The best place to do that is conveniently my Discord server, for me anyway, because I try to announce when I'm doing collabs with other streamers on my Discord server, because that's just an easy way to make sure most people in my community find out about them. I do also generally post about it on Twitter, where you can find me as @ComradeBubbles, right here. And obviously I stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/comradebubbles. But I think that's the spiel. If anyone has enjoyed this show and does enjoy the peek behind the screen, so to speak, if you see what I did there, I am back on the Onyx Path's Twitch channel. The next show, as of time of recording, and date, is actually tomorrow, the 25th of October. I'm beginning my foray into the realms of Pugmire for some Canis Minor community content work. And hopefully also, of course, it's all portfolio building. But hopefully you have enjoyed. Pugmire indeed, Unstable Chaos. Pugmire indeed. It will be both Pugmire and Monarchies are now compatible. You will only need one of the rule books. You won't need both if you only have one of them. And hopefully it'll be fun. Yes. So if you have enjoyed, please, as I said, Monarchies are few. I wonder why. It's not the political angle, is it? Yes, as I said, if you have enjoyed, please do consider subscribing on YouTube or following on Twitch. Those are free. And obviously the Ko-Fi account is a thing. Twitch subscriptions are a thing. Just word of mouth really helps. If you have any feedback, please do feel free to reach out to me on Twitch or Twitter, or via the Discord server. I want to get back into doing the show, not weekly because I need the time to write, but once or twice a month I'd like to do. So if I can make it better in any way, please do let me know, and I will try to take your feedback on board. But until next time, which hopefully will be tomorrow, when I say I'm on Twitch, that'll be twitch.tv/theonyxpath for 2 hours ish, and then I'll be back here on my channel to finish off Resident Evil Village, and see what happens after that. But until then, please do stay safe, please do stay healthy, please do stay wholesome, and if you can have your COVID booster or vaccine if you remain unvaccinated, please, I beg you, please do. I'm medically vulnerable, and being told that I don't care by everyone who goes out without a mask, or who says that it's endemic, there's nothing we can do about it anymore, or who just refuses to take basic personal hygiene precautions. It's wearing being told that I don't matter anymore, and I'd like going outside. I like going shopping on occasion with friends, but it's a struggle every time because I'm usually the only one in a mask. Anyway, that's my personal feelings on the subject. Please do look after everyone else. Put the wholesomeness you want to see out into the world, and I will hopefully see you around. Goodbye.